Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of Blackbird's Brew. Happy Sunday. Let's talk about Odin and Santa Claus. The character of Santa Claus has been influenced by many popular figures throughout a variety of cultures and time periods and religions. And the Santa we know and that is so beloved today is really the product of this amalgamation of influences and ideas. And he continues to go on and on. We continue to see new movies, new stories, new poems. So he's always going forward in our consciousness, but he has very deep roots. And in this video, we're going to take a look at how Odin has influenced the very concept of Santa Claus and how we can still see little traces of him here today. So let's begin with what's in a name. One of Odin's titles is Allfather, probably his most well-known title. And at Yule, he is also referred to as Yulfar, which means Yule Father. Santa Claus was originally called Father Christmas, and in some parts of the world, notably the UK, he still is. Now, seeing as how Christmas is essentially the Christianized version of Yule, it isn't much of a leap of logic to see that Yule Father was later retitled Father Christmas to suit the church. The aspect of he knows if you've been bad or good. Santa Claus is famed for knowing how children are behaving, and in order to determine what sorts of presents he'd leave for them to find on Christmas morning. Germany also has the tradition of Krampus. Santa Claus rewards and Krampus punishes naughty children. From this perspective, Santa Claus and Krampus are two sides of the same coin, a joint dispenser of rewards and punishment as the conduct deserves. Now, Odin is known for keeping a very sharp eye on the world from his throne where he can see all of the world and what's going on and who's doing what. In addition to this, he also has Hugin and Muin, the famed ravens, and he sends them out each morning to find out what's happening, and then they come back later to report, thus making sure that he's even more informed. Now, granted, these ravens, they differ quite greatly from the modern invention of the elf on the shelf. However, the basic principle of the concept is still very much the same. Someone goes out to find out what's going on and then reports back. The next similarity is regarding gift giving. There's just no separating Santa Claus from the idea of bestowing presents as an act of sheer kindness to reward good behavior. Odin is also famed as a gift giver. He is said to have co-created the world, which is certainly a gift, and gave humans the breath of life. Pretty big gifts right there. He also would give those who he deemed worthy special gifts that were in accordance with their needs. One example is Odin gave Sigmund a magic sword in the Volsunga saga. Another title associated with Odin is Oski, meaning wish granter. Now, with helpers, Santa Claus is said to have his elves who aid him in the workshop and makes the toys to be given away to the children. Whereas in Norse myth, the dwarves and the elves both were famed craftsmen, and they had many, many dealings with the gods. In the poem Thor's Drapa, the elves are referred to as Odin's men, denoting the fact that they had a very special alliance with Odin. The dwarves, amongst many other magical items, crafted Odin's spear, Gungnir. So the idea of having helpers and creating things, in Santa Claus it's about the toys, and I suppose in Odin's case it is still about the toys, just grown-up toys that can do stuff. Next, the dwelling place. Santa Claus lives at the North Pole with his elves and his reindeer and Mrs. Claus. Odin's residence is in Asgard, accessible only via the Bifrost Bridge or by climbing the trunk of Yggdrasil. He has frequent conflicts with ice giants, hardly surprising given the great amount of the Scandinavian people's ancestral lands is inside of the Arctic Circle, which is quite inhospitable towards life in general. So he's, in a metaphorical sense, the fighter of winter. Odin's association with the northern lands, which would certainly encompass the North Pole, as well as the Scandinavian people in general, who were once referred to as the Northmen, this clearly places Odin in a very similar geographical location as Santa Claus. Now, with regards to transportation. Christmas Eve, Santa, he climbs into his sleigh with a giant bag of toys, and he's pulled through the sky all over the world at record speed by his 8 reindeer. Many Norse gods were known to have animal-drawn chariots that flew them across the sky. My personal favorite is Freya's chariot, which was drawn by cats. What could possibly be better for a crazy cat lady like me? Now, Odin had an 8-legged horse named Sleipnir. Sleipnir was sometimes ridden, and sometimes Sleipnir drew a chariot or a sleigh. And this was evidenced by Sleipnir having runes cut into his teeth and also having runes on the straps of his sleigh. Now, the fact that Sleipnir has 8 legs, and this correlates to the number of Santa's reindeer, is just kind of one of those little conspicuous little things that are interesting. So I would say that the similarities between Odin and Santa Claus are actually pretty clear. We would not have the jolly old elf today if his lore hadn't been lifted directly from Norse mythology, and then, of course, added to by other European peoples and eventually the Christian Church. And now, of course, Santa Claus really belongs to the whole world. How many children on this planet are not aware of the idea of Santa coming to visit them at Christmas? Very few. Santa Claus it really represents the modern continuation of older traditions and beliefs, and the kinds of traditions and beliefs that are of the most fun and lighthearted kind. I think it's wonderful for us pagans to really embrace the figure of Santa Claus as part of our own celebrations. He's just a very thin disguise for Odin, and Odin's significance as a god and for this season is absolutely beyond dispute. So I hope you enjoyed this little trip into the world of interesting facts. There'll be another Odin video next coming week, but in the meantime, please come visit us at Blackbird's Brew. There's a link to join in the description box below. And of course, subscribe to this channel, like the video, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.